Welcome to this week's yoga video. Today we're going to have a look in more detail at the shoulders and the neck and some of the problems that we see in these areas of our body. Maybe it's through injury or repetitive strain, or just that you've become stiffer because of lack of use. So we're going to start mobilizing, creating more strength, and also look at what areas we need to be working at and what areas we need to be increasing strength or flexibility. So before we start, just a little bit of information. The shoulders are where we need to create strength. So we have 4 muscles that run across here in the deltoid muscles, and that's where we need to create stability. So a lot of our work when we come down, for example, into planks or come up and down in downward facing dog, or any of the inversions, we're going to be using the strength of our shoulders. So if we take, for example, our arms out to the side and take the arms up in any of the movements where the palms are up or out, we're starting to create strength into the shoulders. Whereas the neck, we want to create flexibility. So the muscles from the top of the neck down into the middle of the back and spanning out like a kite shape, that's where we need to create flexibility. And this is when we get problems, because we tend to get tight in the areas where we need to create flexibility and very loose in the areas where we need to create strength. So let's have a look at how we can create both in a few of these practices. So let's start in a seated position. Just bring our awareness into the practice first of all before we start. So let's take some nice deep breaths. Just bring our awareness out from all the thoughts of the day, back into the body. Just notice if the eyes are flickering behind the eyelids. And we still that muscle. All the muscles behind the eyes, can we still those? Try and create a little bit of calm there. Closing our eyes, taking a few rounds of breath. The space between the eyebrows, let's see if we can settle those muscles. Taking a few breaths of calming the system down. Let's bring our awareness into the seat of the posture. Connect down into the sit bones. And create that length all the way up to the crown of the head. So when we're working with the neck, it's really important that we bring that alignment through the spine, and remember that the spine doesn't cut off at the neck. And this is why we get a lot of problems in the back of our neck, shoulders, between the shoulder blades, because we start creating a posture where the shoulders round forward and the chin juts forward, and we collapse in the top part of the spine. So just gently drawing the chin back slightly, but not just drawing it back, lifting up the back of the neck and out through the crown of the head. So you create that line of energy from the tailbone or the sit bones all the way up through the spine, through the back of the neck and up through the crown of the head. And as we breathe in and expand. As we breathe out, allow the body to soften with the exhale. Spend a few rounds of breath working on expanding the chest, lifting and opening. And when we start working with the shoulders and neck, it's really important that we connect in with the breath. So let's do that. As we breathe in, start moving the muscles of the upper back. And certainly if you find that difficult, be aware of that stiffness between the shoulder blades, the upper back. Breathing, as we breathe in, feeling the shoulder blades lifting and separating. Feel the opening in the front of the body. And as we breathe out, gently allow those shoulder blades to soften down. If you still feel really stuck in the shoulders and you feel that even breathing and softening your breath is creating no movement, then lift the shoulders up towards the ears ever so gently, and then gently round them back so the shoulder blades are coming down the spine. Just do a few rounds of that. It's starting to find movement with the breath as we breathe in, bringing the shoulders up. And as we breathe out, gently allowing those shoulder blades to soften down the back of the body. Let's have one more. Gently breathing in and out. Now let's bring our awareness again into the breath. See if we can expand through the front of the chest, but also through the back of the body. You feel that you're bringing space between the shoulder blades, opening, activating the muscles underneath the arms, up through the spine. Gently draw the chin in and up. As we breathe out, soften down. Let's have 3 or 4 rounds of that, just gently working with the breath, and see if you can get as much space between the shoulder blades as possible. Visualizing like bellows as you breathe in, lifting and expanding, shoulder blades coming further apart, feeling that space between each rib cage, left and right side of the body. Remember to try and see the body as this collection of moving parts rather than static blocks of tight muscle. Notice how we can breathe and expand with the breath. Now see if we can really exaggerate that with the movement of the shoulders, as we gently taking the arms out to the side, softly opening my eyes, bringing the arms out as we breathe in, lifting and expanding, feeling the rib cage opening, and then bringing the arms down as we breathe out. It's really connecting with the breath. Breathing in, lifting, expanding into the chest, and breathing out. And again, breathing in. Let's find a height and expansion through the front of the body, connecting with the breath, and breathing out. And resting the hands back down. Now let's bring some movement into the shoulders. So remember I said we've got 4 muscles coming across and then the deltoid muscles. And what we want to do is create movement so the arm comes up, activating these muscles. And then as the arm comes across the body, we're starting to create a stretch through the back of the shoulder blade. So we're going to do 1 arm at a time, really focusing in on visualizing these muscles we're trying to strengthen, and the muscles of the back where we're trying to lengthen and create flexibility. So bringing the arm into the side, taking it up, breathing in, taking it up as far as possible. So you're getting a nice stretch through the under part of the arm here, and then taking it across, but keeping the head forward. So it's really coming from the shoulder blade. I'm not turning into the position. The core line is staying stable. We're just getting this deep stretch in the side of the body. And then taking it back past the center line and opening into the chest and back down again. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the position from the side angle. So the arms coming up, taking it up as high as possible, arm bent, and then across the body. Notice that my chin is staying in the same place. As it comes across the body, now my upper arm is impairing my vision. That's all I can see now. I can't see out straight. And then bringing it back across the body, past the center line. So now we're working into the front of the chest. And then back down and round. Let's do 2 more of those. Taking the arm up, taking it as high as it goes. So really getting a stretch and activating these shoulder muscles, the deltoid muscles. You can see I've got my hand clenched to try and create that energy line. So I'm really using the muscles. And then across the body. Here we're now working down the side, so into this tricep muscle, down underneath the shoulder blade and getting in to the deep muscles sitting underneath the shoulder blade. And then back opening into the front of the chest, rounding and down. Working in that full rotation. So one more on this side, taking the arm up. So from this position, we get as high as possible. Notice my arm's still bent. I'm not straightening my arm. And then around the body, so it comes across my face, but the chin's staying the same. I'm not looking in that direction. So I'm really isolating the side of the body here. And then back, up past the center line. So we're taking the shoulder back, so we're activating these shoulder muscles, and back down and round. Let's work on the other side. I'll bring myself back to center so you can see from the front view. Relaxing the arm down, relaxing onto the knee, taking the arm up. So here we've come to shoulder height. Then we take it as far as possible. You notice the first time you do it, it's really quite stiff in there, especially if this is the first practice you've done or it's the morning. And then taking it across. And notice how now I'm curling that shoulder blade round. And to do that, I'm activating the muscles underneath the shoulder blade. And then back up, past the center line, and then rotating that shoulder back and round, really getting into those shoulder muscles and underneath the shoulder blade. Let's have 3 more. Take it up past the center line. Here, you might get a little bit higher on the second one. Working in, you'll notice the restriction on how far you can bring the arm in is these shoulder cuff muscles here as you come up. Then bring it across, again keeping this core line stable across the body. And then back up and round. Getting right into that shoulder blade. Try and keep this side nice and soft as we do it. And again, up. See if we can get a little higher this time. As you notice the elbows coming up, getting this nice deep stretch down the side. And then across. So it's the forearm, there's the upper arm that's coming across, the forearm's coming round the head. And then back up. Getting a little bit wider and deeper this time round. Really getting into that kite of muscles that expand across the back of the body. And then the last one, bring the arm up, all the way up. Activating the muscles, keep that chin nice and stable. Up and then across. Back up again. Up and round. And releasing. Just spend a few rounds of breath relaxing the shoulders, feeling into the shoulders, and now let's just create that little bit of movement. So remember I said the shoulder muscles, they want to create stability, where we want the flexibility on the muscles underneath the shoulder blades, coming up to the neck, down the center. So let's just work with that flexibility. So we're gently going to bring the shoulders up and round, working in their full capacity. Keep the arms nice and soft so we can keep the movement fluid. Now notice as I come round, the arms are coming across the body, lifting up towards the ears, elbows coming up, opening across the front of the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together at the back, and then bringing the shoulders together, the elbows down and round. Now let's do that with a little bit of ease and working with the breath. So bringing the shoulders forward and up and open and down. Let's see if we can really visualize and activate the whole of the muscle group, where we've got that tightness, coming a little bit higher this time, taking the arms up and back. And now this time we're coming in the opposite direction, so bring the arms down to the side and then coming up from behind, forward. We're rotating now in the opposite direction, coming down. Taking the elbows back opening into the chest, elbows coming back, shoulder blades together, rounding them up, activating the shoulder muscles here. We're starting to activate the deltoid muscles, bring the arms up, rounding and down. Let's do one more nice deep movement, slowly working the breath. Take a nice deep breath in, opening into the chest, finding that expansion, lifting the elbows up, coming up across the body and down and release. Now we're going to take the arms across, so I'm going to bring my left arm on top and I'm going to grab hold of my shoulder blades. So bring the arms round the body, hooking your fingers around your shoulder blades. Let me just show you from the back position. So I'm taking the arms round the body, my shoulder blades are coming down here, and I'm just hooking my fingers into the shoulder blades here. And as I do that, now I'm going to really focus on my breath. So you might want to change position, come onto your knees if you want to give your hips a break. And then just breathing. It's like giving yourself the biggest hug. You might be able to get your fingers a little bit closer towards your spine. Just breathing and releasing. And here we're going to have 4 rounds of nice deep breath. Breathing, and notice the shoulders moving, the muscles underneath the shoulder blades. You can feel them with your fingers as you expand. But also what we're doing is getting a nice stretch into the deltoid muscles. These muscles that are coming down, inserting into the arms. Breathing. Take some nice deep breath. See if you can get as big expansion as possible into that rib cage. And now let's release and take the arms over the other way. So now I've got my other arm over the top, hooking round into those shoulder blades, taking a nice deep breath. And let's have 4 really connected breaths and feel as much expansion as possible. So we're hugging into ourselves, but also feeling into the arms, getting a nice stretch into the top part of the shoulders, goes into the arms. Breathing. Let's close our eyes and really sink into that breath. One more nice deep breath, hugging yourself deeply. And release down. The last movement we're going to do now is with a belt. So grabbing hold of your belt, what we're going to do is double it up here. Okay, and then taking hold of the buckle end, wrapping it round. So you've got a firm position into your hands. Taking it round here, firm position. Okay, and then what we're doing is, I'm going to show you the position first of all, is that we're bringing the top arm over and grabbing hold of the belt as comfortable as possible. So here we've got that firm grip at the top, firm grip at the bottom, and then gently what we're doing is trying to get as close as possible. So moving, I've got my left hand at the bottom and I'm moving it up the belt to try and bring that shoulder over. So here we're getting deeper into it. Let me turn around so you can see the front. So here we're taking the tricep, this inside muscle here, it's getting as high as possible. And the elbows coming up. I've got mine resting on the side of my head. And I'm going to see if I can get a little deeper, take it a little deeper. So now my fingers are touching behind my back. And here now what we want to do is gently breathe. Just soften the breath. So it's a nice deep stretch. Breathing and releasing. Holding the position for a good 3 breaths. Keeping it nice and fluid. And it doesn't matter how close your hands are, but we want to have a nice strong movement on the back. So if you can only bring your hand up this far, but it's a nice strong stretch through the inside of the arm, up into the shoulder, and you can feel the heat building up into your shoulder. That's fine. And gently as you release, you'll be able to move your hands up a little bit further each time. And then let's change over to the other side. So simply just change over your hands, taking this arm over, taking this arm behind, grabbing hold of the belt. Make sure you've got some firm foundation into the hand with the belt, and then gently start moving your hand up so it brings that arm over. You can see that the more I pull on the belt, the more that arm comes up. And we can take a nice deep breath here, get that deep stretch all the way into the tricep muscle, building up some heat into the shoulders. And here, just relax the breath. Let's have some 3 nice, deep, nourishing breaths. Let's have one more deep breath, really drawing the breath down into the stomach. And release, popping the belt down again, finding a comfortable position, so coming into cross-legged or staying on your knees if you're finding that comfortable. And then we're just going to finish our practice today with some gentle, very soft rolls, but we're doing it one at a time. So we are alternating. So here we gently want to bring that shoulder round. So it's so slight that it's really quite hard to see. So I'm going to exaggerate so you can see for the video. What we're doing is bringing the arm up and back very, very slightly. Start that one going, and then as the shoulder comes down, we're going to take the other one up. So we're alternating, working up and down. Okay, and now just take it that little bit lower. So it's very, very small movements. I'm going to exaggerate so you can see for the video, but try and take it even smaller circles than I'm doing, but keeping them alternating. So as one comes down, the other one's coming up. And you're starting to really get deep into the muscles underneath the shoulder blades, getting that movement. You can even soften deeper. And now let's go in the opposite direction. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Gently rotating round. Relaxing. Let's finish our practice today. Gently moving into this position, closing our eyes and slowly creating this movement with the shoulders. Let's go back the other way. Keeping the neck nice and soft. Tension out of the shoulders, tension out of the arms. Gently working, massaging, releasing. And then relaxing down, bringing your hands down into your lap or onto your knees. Just spending a few moments breathing and softening the shoulders down. So let's close our eyes and visualize that kite shape section from the base of the neck expanding out to the shoulders and down to the middle back. And as we breathe in, I want you to visualize the area full of a beautiful bright white light. As we breathe in, find that radiating light all the way across the neck, coming down the spine, radiating out to the shoulders. Breathing in, feeling the heat of the rays of this beautiful cleansing, softening white light, nourishing those muscles. Breathing and releasing.